Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for day 2 of the Hong Kong Sevens. Now, you may be confused seeing a scoreboard that apparently is 9 minutes in, 10 points to nil. This match has not started yet. But for some reason, the scoreboard, I think, got a little bit ahead of itself. It should go back down to 0-0 before this game gets underway. But New Zealand versus South Africa, certainly going to be an entertaining one when these two sides go head-to-head. Looking through at New Zealand starting lineup, it will be Dylan Collier, Sione Molia, Amanaki Nicole, Rohi McGarvey Black, Akulia Rokalisoa, Leroy Carter, and the youngster Cody Vai made his debut yesterday, managed to get himself a debutant try as well in the process. We'll be very happy with that. Indeed, for South Africa, Ryan Oosterhuizen, Impi Visa, Christy Hrobela, Severe Sawyers, Wape Mfundo and Lovu, Sean Williams and Ricardo James Dawati there as well in the starting lineup. And I am 10-0, says Brandon. Yeah, welcome in, Brandon. Although scores still 0-0 between these two sides, I'm not even sure what game they're basing it off as well, because the current game between New Zealand and Canada, it is sitting about 46-0 in the end. So whether or not that is how the match started between these two sides and they got confused between the New Zealands, we'll have to wait and see. But either way, we'll have a different scoreboard up more than likely for when the match does get underway, so that it's not so confusing. But this next game is going to be an exciting one. All the semi-finals have been confirmed for the women's side of the draw. It will be Australia versus Ireland, France versus Great Britain, USA taking on the Fijians, and New Zealand. They play Canada again. So Canada won't be too keen on that after just being defeated the way that they were. But we are back into the men's side of the draw now. I'm looking around because I believe Rugby It, you guys know him as, or Tim, some of you might know him as well. I believe he's dressed as Luigi at the game, and we're going to try and find him. He's got a couple other Marios and Luigis around him. It's the whole Italian plumber gang, but it's going to be hard to spot him, I would think. We'll see whether or not he sent a message from yesterday. See if we can find him. Looks like he has not yet, by the looks of it. There we go. Right, looking at this pool, they are just showing Pool B at the moment. France and Great Britain sitting at the top of it. Pool C, Australia and Spain at the top. But those two sides and both of those groups will be very happy that they don't have to play off in the quarterfinals against either New Zealand, South Africa, maybe Ireland, depending on how their game goes up against Canada. How was your busy weekend? Want to know how my one going, says Brandon. Hopefully yours is going all right. Mine's been not too bad. Had cricket prize giving a little bit earlier on in the day. Did not get myself any awards, but did only play half the season, and the comment from the coach was that I was very close, even though I did only play a short amount of time. The South African side, I feel like they're going to try and put New Zealand under pressure straight away. I believe my prediction for this game was 26 points to 14 or something along those lines. New Zealand with Akulia Rokaliso are definitely going to be the key player for them in this contest. And then for the South Africans, we didn't see Christy Hrobela in their starting lineup for the last match, but I think it's going to be Sean Williams. And also Nlovu actually did pretty well in that first game, I felt, up against the Irish. Kept the composure till late in the contest. A lot of young players getting the chance, but not just New Zealand, but also South Africa here. The likes of a Sebastian Job, he was ecstatic when they were able to win that game over the Irish. Cody Vai in the starting lineup, like I mentioned. A young player to manage to score a try on debut, but it will be Sean Williams kicking off this one from left to right. Should mention, score still not 10-0. We'll see how it goes. If we go into a minute of this game and it still says that, then we will just update it ourselves. That was almost Ryan Oosterhuizen taking Cody Vai out in the air, but good lead drive from the youngster, making a few extra meters. Impi Visa straight over the wall, ends up winning the penalty for the Blitzboks. Now, Christy Hrobela considered taking the quick tap, but decides against it. They may instead go for the scrum here. And my one be crazy already. 4 live streams, 3 more to come, 2 more tomorrow, 1 tomorrow. Or 2 tonight, 1 tomorrow. See, here's Brandon there. But South Africa, they do find themselves currently sitting in 7th on the overall rankings, on the same points as Samoa, but due to other differentials, Samoa do find themselves sitting ahead. But like they've said, Australia, Fiji, France, Argentina, and New Zealand all automatically qualified for the Olympics in 2024. Those 5 spots are up for grabs, and that is what every side is after. Here comes Nlovu. Thought about the pass on the outside to Zavir Suez. Wapi decides against using it. And then now Duarte goes across to the left-hand side. Sean Williams now breaks the line off the Christy Hrobela. Ball on the outside. Impi Visa manages to pick it up with the bounce pass, and he's going for the corner. Rokalisoa drags him down. Looked a little high, my opinion, but it is going to be play on just for now. Oosterhuizen goes across Ricardo. James Dawate, forward pass to Savile Soyazwapi. One New Zealand leading on my sky. It's still 0-0. Yeah, that is the case. Still 0-0. The scoreboard is broken, but I cannot really fix it other than I'm going to put a real score down the bottom, seeing as it doesn't look like it knows what's actually going on. Real score, we'll put 0-0 South Africa and New Zealand. There we go. Put that across the bottom. Stick that there. That is the real score. That one's completely broken. Hopefully they fix it in the future for other ones. It sounds like you do more sevens tonight. Yeah, we have got a few more sevens live streams. Break of the line from Leroy Carter. Him and Savile Soyazwapi in a foot race. And not many men can say that they can outpace Savile Soyazwapi, but Leroy Carter has been able to. And now makes the score 5-0 with a kick to come. It will make it 7 for the Kiwis. If only it was a missed kick and then they scored again and missed the conversion, then it would have actually been perfect on the scoreboard other than the wrong timing. But no, Rohi McGarvey Black created the initial opportunity, luring in Ricardo James Dawati, and then the missed tackle from Soyazwapi meant that Leroy Carter, the Bay of Plenty boy, was able to go through, get himself the try, and New Zealand now give themselves the lead. Yeah, if anyone spots someone dressed as Luigi that looks a bit like Rugby Itch, that is Rugby Itch. He is actually at the game dressed as Luigi. He told me, you're covering All Black Sevens versus Ireland. I will not be, just because it might be a little bit tight with the time that the Blues versus Chiefs ends up finishing, so I don't want to end up with too many overlaps there. Nicely taken by Dylan Collier now. No, Rohi McGarvey Black. Back across now. Amanaki Nicole goes to Akulia. Rockali, so a good step around Umfuru. Or Unlovu, sorry, I should say. Now a ball on the outside. Collier has to take the diving catch. Back to the right-hand side. The Kiwis just having to find a bit more structure. Kicked him on from the Roy McGarvey Black. Nicely taken by Christy Robela. Trying to break through one of the tackles by Amanaki Nicole. Almost in there, unable to get it. Unlovu goes across to Williams. Now Ustays, and this is a great attacking opportunity for the Blitzboks as they pass it out wide to Ricardo James. Noate steps. Leroy Carter takes him down. He's having a phenomenal game so far. Oh, the scoreboard's correct. They must have realised. Maybe they were playing the April Fool's prank. Oh, no, so that'd be April Fool's. Says Ed there. Welcome in. I should mention we've got a bit of an April Fool's situation going on later on, which is daylight saving in New Zealand. Because, Sean Williams goes straight through. One of the games, we kind of time travel to be able to cover it, but we are covering all 3 of the Champions Cup games. That's almost New Zealand's ball, and the breakdown, very unlucky. The referee, Ben Breakspear, decides otherwise. Impy Visa now going across to Ricardo James Dawati, taken down low. Once again, New Zealand looking to get that turnover, but unable to do so. Sean Williams now off to the left-hand side. Great step from him, almost through. Dragged down, though, and a brilliant tackle by Amanaki Nicole. Leroy Carter got his hands on the ball. Not quite there. Looked like he was just taking a little bit of a rest now. Wide pass. Mflovu. Ball on the outside to Oosterhuizen, and it bumps into touch. They're trying to say that maybe it was off a Kiwi hand, but it is going to be a line out in favour of New Zealand. Also, see, I link you on your Discord to you. There's Brandon there. And also we have got there what matches are you streaming this weekend. So we've got a majority of our live streams already scheduled on the channel for these ones today. And then also the Champions Cup. The only games that aren't scheduled on that one are the Super Rugby one tomorrow. Maybe the NRL if it doesn't overlap, but I believe it does. So probably more than likely just Hurricanes versus Western Force. And then also we have got all of the sevens throughout the day, and then Toulouse versus the Bulls at 2 a.m. on Monday morning, which I am then following by getting up early on Monday morning to go to work. So it's going to be a big weekend. I believe I've still got another 14, 15 hours of being awake, somewhere around there. Just the stock standard for a Saturday and Sunday morning. But 1 minute 20 remaining in this first half. New Zealand currently with that 7-0 lead. But yeah, the rest of the live streams, we've got Super Rugby today. We're doing the 2 games, about 3 or 4 more games of sevens. And everything along those lines. With South Africa now going off to the left-hand side. Ndlovu, great step, double, straight through the gap. And he'll score the try between the sticks. I believe that's going to make the score 7-all between these two sides. Looking forward to the Chiefs-Blues game, though. It's going to be a great game. And that game we are going to be able to cover in full without any sevens overlapping. The Fijian draw versus Rebels game, the start of the second half, it is going to be just my mum doing the commentary for it. And then I will be popping back to do the rest of it at the end of that game due to Samoa playing Argentina overlapping with that one as well. But great work from Unlovu. He uses the pace that he's got. I'm a bit worried though, because I see through the substitutes and everyone for South Africa that Zane Davids is nowhere to be seen. Now, I mentioned on my preview that he could be quite a key player, but if he's not available to play in this game, he probably, well, more than likely, he won't be a key player. But I believe for the South Africans, I went with Sean Williams, Ricardo James Duarte, and also Zane Davids. Whereas for the Kiwis, and Rohi Makavi Black, Rokali Soa, and also Amanaki Nicole. As the keys trying to kick that one the 10 meters. Oh, brilliantly done from South Africa to make it go that 11 or so meters. But then there was a knock on New Zealand saying that there was still time, maybe asking for the penalty here. New Zealand, but they aren't going to get it. Instead, it's going to be halftime, 7-all between these two sides. You say last weekend, mine not at much live stream. Now, how is it this weekend? Says Brandon. For your live streams, Brandon, I know that you were doing quite a few last weekend by the sounds of it as well. Right, do we see a Luigi in the crowd? There are a lot of people dressed up. I'm not seeing Tim as of yet, though. He'll be in there somewhere. And Hamish, I can see that 7 all already just trotting from work. Says Spider Mix, so welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. Hope you're excited for Super Rugby just a little bit later on in the day. The only game of the Super Rugby that we won't be able to cover is Brumbies versus Waratahs. That is due to the overlap that it is involving the Fiji versus Argentina sevens matchup. But throughout that time of the Brumbies Waratahs, we will be filming reviews, previews, everything like that. Get all ready for tomorrow in the live streaming as well. But Dylan Collier looks like he is leading the huddle at the moment. Having a bit of a chat here with, I think he's talking to Brady Rush, who will be coming off the bench later on in this contest. They've still got Lewis Ormond, Tapaya Savage, Fihi, Nofo, I should say, and Xavier Tavita Harris is another option. Whereas South Africa, Tian Pretorius, Ismail, Ethan James, Job, and Donovan Don, the 5 replacements that they will be able to make. But this looks like it's going to be a very close second half between the two sides. South Africa, they haven't had a huge amount of attack, but any time that they do get the chance, they seem like they are very effective. Question for you, Hamish, what is my busy live stream last weekend or this weekend? I assume this weekend, because you have said it about 15 times that this weekend you've got a lot on compared to last weekend when you only said it 10. So doing the maths adds up to be a little bit more this weekend. There's a lot of people in attendance going for the Kiwis and also going for the Australians, which is good to see, but only 14 and a half. That's not Tim dressed as a super trooper, is it? No, it's not. Yeah, Ireland, Kenya are going to be playing in 14 and a half minutes. In 14 and a half minutes, we will be live for the next live stream between the Fijian Drua and the Rebels, so be sure to stick around for that as well. Now, it's going to be a Kulia Rokalisoa at Rugby Itch. Says it was there from Brandon, although he was dressed as Luigi rather than a trooper. Now, nice step from Savivia Soya. Wapi, the quick stepping from the wing. He's always dangerous, and you have to make sure you shut him down early. Now, Nlovu trying to break his way through up to the halfway line now for the South Africans. We are into the second half, ladies and gentlemen, so 7-minute splits between who is going to be making their way through, maybe as top qualifier in Pool A. Nice work in the breakdown from the Kiwis. They don't get Ricardo James Duarte. Slings it off to the right-hand side. Impie Veza out in front of JC Pretorius. In fact, Ryan Oosthuizen and run on to. Almost gets through, but Amanaki Nicole muscles up with him, keeps him down on the ground. Impie Veza goes across to Williams, currently just inside of their own territory. Ricardo James Duarte once again with a beautiful step. Moves to 35 meters out from the Kiwis line. Almost got held up into a rolling maul scenario there. Asavere Sawyer's Wapi. Couple of quick steps, but the Kiwis have worked out. You've got to watch his feet rather than watching his top half. Pivisa now off to the right-hand side. Ricardo James Duarte goes off now. Big fin from Ndlovu. Taken down low. New Zealand trying to get the turnover. They don't get it. Ricardo James Duarte again to Mpiveza. Short ball, straight to Christy Rubala. Almost went through. Considers the offload. He did go to Mpiveza. I think it hit him in the chest rather than the hands, but it's called as a knock on. And also, there, let's go to Fiji and draw. Are you Fiji or New Zealand in the quality or the quarterfinal? Fiji win the next game, says Brandon. It's going to be a tough one to predict because both sides still have another game on after this. New Zealand, they have got Ireland. Fiji, they will have their last game up against the Argentines. So it's hard to tell from only 2 games whether or not they're going to go well in 2 games' time. I think we need to see that last quarterfinal, see how both sides are sitting at the end of the pool stages to be able to really determine it. And with my new team Blues playing, I'm happy. Your Bluven Storm 1, 18-10. Says Spider-Mix. So the Blues are going to be playing at 7:05 p.m. New Zealand time up against the Chiefs. That is at FMG Stadium in Waikato. Come on, New Zealand, says Isaac. So they have made a change. Sebastian Job was on the field at the end of the victory. They were able to get themselves over the Irish. But here come New Zealand. Brady Rush. Great pace. Finds the ball off to Narohi. McCarvey Black now. Job has to force him towards the touchline. Doesn't quite do so. Knock on from New Zealand. Picked up by Ndlovu. And now South Africa have got themselves possession back just inside of their 22. I believe it was Donovan Don goes across to Yob, the 2 new names in the Blitzboks Sevens. Lincoln now Christie. Robala, inside ball. Great work. Gets close to the touchline. Don gets driven out. Brady Rush thinks about taking it quickly. They will not. They'll slow it down. Mile's doing a great job on her YouTube channel, says Brandon. Yeah, I wasn't for her SmackDown live stream a little bit earlier on in the day for a bit. I believe she is also going to be doing the Rebels versus Fiji and Drua game. I'm not wrong, but Akulia Rokalisoa now. About to throw the ball in. 39 passes made by the Blitzboks compared to the 9 of New Zealand. Ball goes in, nicely taken. Looked like they were going to go for that rolling maul for a second, which you don't see too often in Sevens. Now, nice loop around play from Rokalisoa. Now it's going to be Cody Vi. All he has to do is put it in the corner. And he does just that, and he also runs it round a little bit closer. New Zealand score, and that will now give them a leg. Cody Vi, 2 matches, 2 tries. This is a debut series that he will certainly remember. And he'll be thinking international sevens is easy. Being able to score in both games, but it was a great pass from Akulia Rokalisoa to set up the youngster Vi to go for the corner. Donovan Don almost had the pace to stop him. Tried to ankle tap. Didn't quite connect. Cody Vi, 2nd try of the weekend. New Zealand now, this is an important conversion. They need to try and make sure. Does end up going over. Going to be a tough kick for Rokalisoa. It's hit the post and come back out. So this is far from done now for the Kiwis. Cody Vi, his day is done though. Decided to take him off. I believe that maybe for someone like a Tobias Savage or maybe Xavier Tavita Harris, giving the youngsters a bit of a go. That kick from New Zealand doesn't quite travel the 10, but South Africa do play at it. It's going to be knocked on. No, it's hit backwards apparently. And now that one also looked like it was close to someone knocking the ball on, but now sits up in the hands of the Blitzboks. Good stepping here from Ethan James, the youngster, but New Zealand, both men getting in the breakdown. They win the penalty again. Doing anything like interviews next weekend, says Brandon. We haven't got any interviews planned that I know of. Tony's in Malaysia, Mark's in China, Tim might still be in Hong Kong. So the regular ones, I don't believe we've got. We might have, in fact, next weekend, we might have Isaac for a couple of live streams, seeing as it is Easter weekend and he will be down. So yeah, we might end up having Isaac. We may even, for the first time ever, have all 4 of the Kiwi lads on a live stream. Maybe. We'll see how we go. We'll have to try and get everyone's schedules linking up, but we'll try our absolute best. Rokalisoa now throwing the ball, and that wasn't very straight, but in sevens, it's a little bit more lenient than Union. Thinking about the short pass there, instead hangs on to it. The youngster, Tobias Savage. Good work in the breakdown from South Africa to just put New Zealand under that bit more pressure. They've decided to just hang on to it at the back now. Brady Rush goes across to Dylan Collier. He'll always try and break at the line. And the thing is, he's deceptively quick for a big man. There's a massive gap around the side of the breakdown, but he decides not to go for a Brady Rush. Instead, the rush defense of the Blitzboks. Good step from Tobias Savage. Now Rokalisoa round the side. Great hands from Brady Rush. There's a bit of push and shove going on between Ricardo James Duarte. He might have still been able to finish that one. They're going to go upstairs, but I have no idea why Ricardo James Duarte and one of the Kiwis were just pushing and shoving, because it actually left a gap. So they're going to have to check this one. I was going to ask the interview at 9:30. think Super Rugby is on, says Brandon. Yeah, so 9:30 next week, I believe, we have this third game of Super Rugby. Oh, okay, just as bad as each other as the comment from the touch referee in the terms of those two players pushing and shoving. Brady Rush, I believe, is somehow. Oh, he's put it down on the flag. Jeez, he's a big man, whoever that was. Was that Ismail? Yes, it is. It's on the flag, which I believe in the corner, if it hits the flag, it's a try. But if it's in the field of play and it lands on the flag, I don't think it is a try. He's managed to stay in the field of play, though, for a very long time before putting that ball down directly on the corner flag. That is something you don't see every day, and not sure that was a try. I think it's going to be held up. Never grounded. No try. 22. Touch and go. It's going to be the call there. So South Africa will end up with possession. Still time left on the clock, ladies and gentlemen, for a South African comeback. And also we have got the RU on for the Blues game. Maybe we certainly are. 7:05. That flag has still not been fixed. But yeah, 7:05. Or in fact, I think we're starting at 7 and we will be doing that full game. No interruptions in terms of other live streams. Completely from start to finish. What's going to be a very entertaining game. Cardo James, the white team now. Kicks off long. Kiwis taking it nicely on the halfway line. Big sling and pass. Oh, it's a hospital one. And now great work in the breakdown from the Blitzboks. That's the knock on, though. And it is going to be the scrum for New Zealand, but they dodged a bullet there. There's a big risk in going for a pass that long. Tian Pretorius read it like a book. So did, I think it was, who was it who actually rushed up there? I believe it was Ethan James who saw it. And then Pretorius had his hands on the ball. It just came out at the last minute, unfortunately for him. But 1 minute remaining. So they've decided to take off Sione Molia. Kiwis, they'll be under pressure here. They need to make sure that they get it right. Do you got cricket live stream on Wednesday? Says Brandon, what cricket games on Wednesday? Can't quite remember which one we've got. Is it a New Zealand one or is it someone else? Or defender not let South Africa score and need to score to close it out for the Kiwis. Yeah. One more try would secure it. Oh, HIA here for, I believe that's Brady Rush after his big contact in the back by Travis Ismail while he was lying on the ground. So they will take him off the field. And they put $200 for the Blues to win, says Spider-Mick. And I believe they would have come in as favourites, or actually, it's hard to say. They've got a great side, but the Chiefs have been doing very well, undefeated so far throughout the Super Rugby Pacific season, and it's a home game for them. So I haven't actually checked the odds for that one. That would be an interesting one to see. Maybe like $1.80, $1.85 or some split like that. Means there is money to be made if you get the right side. Now Rokalisoa tries to feed the ball in. Oh. Okay, South Africa actually end up winning themselves the free kick here. That is for New Zealand wheeling in the scrum. And no Chiefs are favourites, and they're at home, says Novmum there. And Australia versus England T20, says Brandon. Wait. It was going to be a straight arm penalty, but now it's not. Okay, so it became a free kick, but now it's been taken back by the referee. Interesting. Yeah, on Wednesday, New Zealand play Sri Lanka, Canada play Papua New Guinea, and also Jersey play the UAE. Unless there's a women's game that you are talking about, Brandon, I do not see an international T20 between England and Australia. That's going to be another penalty going the way of New Zealand. They can slow this one down now. I don't think they'll wait for 20 seconds. They've been told to slow it down. Okay, they do have to kick it now. They'll kick for the corner. Blitzboks Savage just taking his time, looking for the mark. He's got to kick this one. Rokalisoa is going to take it. They've actually turned off the clock now because they know that New Zealand is stalling. They may even look for the tap here. Okay, New Zealand going to take the tap. Time is on. They'll just look to close out this game by hanging on to the ball. Or will they? Leroy Carter goes through. He says, no, I'm not closing out the game like that. I'm going for the corner. And he's going to have almost enough base driven into touch. No harm done there, and that will be the end of the game. The New Zealanders win it 12 points to 7. And That will certainly help them out. This will be massive for the All Blacks coming out of this pool of death, says Creeper Rain. So I would say at this stage, they have now secured themselves a spot in the quarterfinals. Now just a question, will it be South Africa or will it be Ireland who take that other spot? Whether if bad lucky, I'm not going to Super Rugby in this weather, says Brandon. All Blacks job done, says Creeper Rains. But tell you what, it was close. If these two sides come up against each other in the semis or the final, we know it's going to be an entertaining game. Yeah, New Zealand sitting 2 from 2 with 6 points. South Africa sitting on the 4 points. Played 2, won 1, lost 1. And Ireland just the one game, but they are going to be playing up against Kenya right as we speak. But the next live stream that we have got, ladies and gentlemen, will be Fiji and Drua taking on the Rebels. We are starting that live stream in only 4 minutes' time. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We have got more sevens action coming a little bit later on at about 5:15 p.m. New Zealand time. That will be Argentina versus Samoa, which we are covering on the channel alongside the Super Rugby comp. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, sure to leave a like and subscribe. Like I mentioned, I will see you all for the